Hello, my name's John. I've been collecting antiques of various sorts for a number of years, so I thought I'd upload a series of short videos describing some of the things I'm passionate about in the hope that you too could become interested in this. What I'm going to start with is a two-part talk on Staffordshire figures. The first one, which is this, starts off with the earliest figures. I think it's fair to say that Staffordshire figures started being produced around 1770 and in Staffordshire, and one of the earliest families who developed these figures were the Wood family of Burslem, but there were several others. Many of these figures were made in an improved earthenware called pearlware, which was the local earthenware mix, but with the addition of a quantity of china clay, which was designed to try to give it a porcelain type finish. These figures, these early figures, often had square bases, such as this one, which shows a gentleman drinking wine. I think it's called the wine drinker. So very often the early figures did have square bases, and if you turn it upside down, you can see in the base there's a blowhole to enable the hot air to escape during the firing process. You can also see, if you look carefully, the pearlware glaze pooling, which is typical of that material. Often the pearlware would have a bluish tinge to it. But as well as square bases, there were round bases, such as these two figures of spring and autumn, which I showed at the start of this. And often figures were also made hollow, such as this one, and this is a typical Staffordshire early figure depicting a cherub in a rural bucolic environment. And again, looking at the underneath, you can see it is completely hollow with a rather crude blowhole, and you can see the blue pearlware glaze to the surface. The figures often depicted religious themes, such as this one, and this one, which I think shows Abraham sacrificing a goat. Again, square base, and you can see the blowhole underneath. Other things that were often depicted were occupations, such as this figure here, again on the square base, known as the Staffordshire cobbler. You can see it's a gentleman working on repairing a shoe. Generally speaking, the figures were designed to be decorative, but in some cases, the figures had a use. For example, this one is a lady holding a basket, and the basket could be filled with salt, so it would act as a salt cellar. And again, looking underneath, you'll see the crude blowhole and the pearlware glaze. This one is on a decorative base, which is, I think, trying to imitate the porcelain figures made by factories such as Derby and Chelsea at around the same time or just earlier. So again, another one here showing a young lady in a rural setting on a square base. I'm going to leave you on that note and finish the talk, and the next one I shall give will be on the later figures known as flatbacks. These figures that I've been talking about today are decorated all round. They're handmade and painted all round back and front. Flat-back figures, which I'll come on to next time, were only decorated on one side and produced in a completely different way. So until then, I'd like to say goodbye and thank you very much for listening.